Hello everybody, Michelle from Michelle's Craft Corner here. In today's video, we're going to be making this fun spring poppy themed card using Stampin' Up's Painted Poppies stamp set. Let's get started. So here's a close-up of that card we're going to be making today. I really love how it turned out. These colors together just really pop. If you're not really loving this particular color set though, you could do the same design with pretty much any Stampin' Up colors. Here's another couple quick examples. This is with the So Saffron and Pumpkin Pie, and then this is with that Rococo Rose and Sea Foam, so just a little different card base. So let's jump right in on all our supplies to make this gorgeous card. Today's stamp sets, we're going to be using the Painted Poppies stamp set for these fun spring colored poppies. So these are not traditional colors, but I just think they're fun and lighthearted. The sentiment comes from the Peaceful Moments stamp set, which has some other really nice sentiments as well. If you're not feeling Thinking of You with All My Heart, there's some other great ones on there. Besides this, we're going to use a couple different colors of cardstock today. First off, the Highland Heather for our card base. Then, there we go, okay. Then for our background piece that we're going to emboss, we're using the Soft Sea Foam, which is it's just gorgeous together, I think. For our flowers, we're going to be stamping on some just Whisper White, and also using that to cut out our nested shape for our framelit. Or die. Okay, so that's really our main colors right there. Let's move that back off to the side. So speaking of that die, so for that I used the nested dies, and these are just absolutely awesome. I've done some cool things with these already, but specifically we're using that one right there. It fits it perfectly. I know it's but it gives it this beautiful little stitched edge. And of course you could do a different size as well, or a different die or punch if you don't own this one. But of course you're going to want to. And the other thing I used too for our machine is the Subtle Embossing folder. Now this is true to its name, and I really don't know how well this is going to show up in camera, but it kind of has this fun little light gradient effect. It's very, very subtle, but it gives the paper such a nice texture. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Just a very nice, true to its name, subtle pop on that background. So that's what I used for that. Okay, ink colors, Highland Heather. For stamping, some Memento. And then for coloring those flowers, we're going to be pulling out these Stampin' Up blends. For my leaves, I'm going Old Olive, light and dark. For my flowers, to coordinate with the paper, we're going light and dark Highland Heather. Is that in frame? Let me scoot that over a little. Okay, Highland Heather. And then also for our pink, we're going Rococo Rose, light and dark as well. These are going to need some fussy cutting, so definitely grabbing those paper snips and gluing. I'm going to use my liquid glue today, and then we're going to pop up a little bit with some dimensionals. Of course, I grabbed the pack that's almost empty, but just these nice standard dimensionals. You can also use the mini dimensionals as well, or the dimensional strips, so all will work. All right, so let's go ahead and get stamping. All right, move that off to the side. All right, got my stamps on blocks and Whisper White. So for this, quick and easy. All we're gonna do is we're gonna be stamping 4 flowers total. So just inking those up, stamping those on. There we go, down, up, just like that. Pretty simple. Go, that one's better. Let me do one more. Okay, it could have been a little darker, but we're going to roll with it. And then leaves, same thing, just stamping those on our paper. Now for this, I used 6 leaves total. You can do more or less, personal preference. I'm just going to stamp a couple so I can show you guys how I colored them. All right, let's move that off to the side. And then also with the Whisper White, I'm going to cut out that shape with the nested framelits, and I have one sitting over here somewhere that of course walked away. Okay, we'll find it in a second. Isn't that how it always goes? Okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do our coloring, and hopefully I will find that little stinker wherever it went in a second. Okay. So for our coloring, go ahead and pull our colors back in here. So I'm going to show you how I colored the purple and the pink and one of the leaves. A bunch of different ways you can do this. This is really a personal preference thing, and honestly, the more you use these amazing blends, the better you will get at them. It's kind of one of those things you kind of learn your style as you go. But I have found that I like to go light first. That's not necessarily works for everybody, but this is kind of my preference. So starting nice and light, and giving it good coverage. Now, if you go over the lines, it doesn't matter because we're going to cut it out. So it can be a little messy if you need to be. Okay, nice and quick. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and take our darker shade. And what I like to do is go along those lines. So just kind of tracing the edge and those spots that you want it to be a little darker. And it'll dry a little bit too in a minute, look a little bit different, but just like that. Going under the edge. That. Go a little round to the side. That. Okay, so you can see it kind of has that just nice, watery. Now, to blend those two together, I kind of like to go back with that lighter shade and kind of add just a little bit more texture, kind of leaving that center the lightest possible. So just really kind of makes those leaves pop. Now, if you go too dark, you can always grab that color lifter and lighten it up a little bit, just to give it a little second to dry between, get that center, there we go. Between applying so your paper doesn't get too wet. All right, so that's pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and do basically the same thing with the purple. So I kind of liked highlighting the same areas with both. So pretty quick and easy. Ah, there's that shape. I found him. Okay. That was going to bother me. All right. So yet again, just starting with my lightest shade, and I'm just going to be fast and messy because, as I said, we're cutting these out. So why spend that extra time? All right, so boom, there we go. And I'm going to take my darker shade. Keep in mind, it's got two sides, so you can use the other tip as well. I just really like this fine tip so much more. Over that center, nice and dark. Now the other thing you can do too, and I'll show you on this one. So if you just have one shade, or you don't want your leaves to have quite as stark a contrast, I'll just do this really quick. Other thing you can do, okay, there we go, he's filled in, is you can do one shade, so either the light or the dark, and just do tone on tone. So basically by going over again, and I don't know how well this is going to show up, it'll give it just a bit of lighter shading to kind of make those areas pop. Yeah, I really don't know how well this is going to show up in camera. Hopefully you guys can see that. But yeah, just going over the areas that I want to. Same exact principle with the darker. It's just you're going for a lighter effect. So that's another thing you can do if you just want to do a lighter effect or just one marker. So pointing that out. All right, so now moving on to the leaves. Grab our old olive. exact same thing. We're going to take our old olive, and I'm going to use this other tip because I think I'm just about worn this one out. I use a lot of old olive. So, good. Okay, this one I have just about used up. So let me switch to this other one here. There we go, that's better. You can kind of tell the difference when the ink is coming out better in one than the other. All right, so for this one, doing light first, and then yet again taking that dark, and I just like to trace the lines of the leaf. So really, really simple. And then just picking a side and just kind of giving a little bit of a nice leafy edge. Just like that. And if you want, you can go back over again, but I feel like that's kind of enough pop for now. So that's how we're going to color those. And now the magic of television. Boom. 2 leaves. Look, they're done and cut out and colored. I have literally a pile of flowers sitting off to the side. I'm doing a lot of these cards because I really like them. So I think these will make great cards for encouragement, Mother's Day, special friends, just, you know, just any occasion really. Let's see. Yeah, those are pretty too. Okay. And then I literally have a pile of leaves. So boom, leaves. Y'all don't even know. There's just a pile of things. All right. So now we've got our sentiment, which we go ahead and ran through our cutting machine to get this wonderful, lovely shape. Now we're just going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment on. Now, of course, you can stamp first and then run it through, but y'all know that it's kind of a pain pulling my machine out here. So this is just easier to cut and then stamp for you. So here we go. Just like that. Ta-da! Beautiful. And of course, you don't like it, you always have an extra side. All right. And then same thing with our background piece, which I forgot to tell you guys what that cutting is for this lovely soft sea foam. So let me grab something to write on. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. So this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and hopefully that's not too small. That right there, am I in camera? There we go. Okay, 5 1/4 by 4 is our measurements for this piece right here. So we're going to cut that out, run it through our machine with that wonderful Subtle's embossing folder, and you get this just lovely, subtle texture. So fun. Right, we'll go ahead and grab our background piece in that Highland Heather. I mean, just look how pretty that is. Oh, love, love, love this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and adhere that to the background. Just a little glue. Okay. A little press. If it leaks out a little, it's okay. It dries clear. Okay. So we got our background. Now for our flowers, I like to have one that's going to be on the bottom, one that's on the top, kind of overlapping a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and grab those. Oh, I got a little glue on my finger. All right, so let's do that one. Looks like a pretty one. Purple. And that one. Just kind of like that. Well, actually, let's not do that one. I missed some coloring. So let's do this one. So as I said, I have a pile of flowers off to the side. There you go. So you can kind of see the card coming together. Now for the leaves, you want to go ahead and glue them on the back side of the flowers before putting them down. And how do you do that? Well, get that extra glue off your finger. Okay. So I'm going to take my flower and then whatever leaf I want, we're just going to adhere it like that. So we're going to put the glue on the back of the leaf. You don't need very much. We're just going to get basically that stem and just the base of the leaf. And just stick it underneath. Boom, just like that. I'm going to do the same thing with another leaf for that top flower. Just like that. Okay. And then for the Rococo Rose, I'm going to remember to say that right. Okay, Rococo Rose, there we go. Just to do one. And really, this kind of looks good no matter which way the flower is. I'm trying to kind of copy it on my card here, so just like that. Okay. There we go. So you can kind of lay it and adjust them as you need to. All right, so for this one, the pink is on the bottom, so we're just going to add some glue. Stick it down. Now when you stick it down, do watch the edge of your card, because you do not want that little, any part of that flower or leaf popping over, because then it won't fit in your envelope. And we have all done it. Same thing with the top one. You got to watch that edge. We're going to scoot this over just a little bit. Here we go. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Going to add some leaves, and then we're going to just throw our sentiment on there with some dimensionals. So we'll fast forward this ending part. And there we have it. Our card is done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial today on how to make this awesome spring poppies card. For all the direct product links to purchase everything featured in this video, do check out the video description before. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my awesome videos. And thank you for your support. Bye.